Hey there, Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here. Welcome to day 50 of our Supersize Your Business Annual Challenge. Today we're talking about confidence, of course. Confidence all this month. Why? Because it is foundational and so critical to us supersizing, building, and growing our businesses. Today our topic is confident body equals confident mind. Are they directly proportionate? In my personal experience, yes, they might not be for you. I've had challenges in my life, both physically and emotionally and mentally. I guess that's more than both. But I've learned that when something is going on that's affecting my mind, the fastest, easiest way to change that is to physically change my body. Thank you, Tony Robbins. In the it might be the late 70s or early 80s. I learned that on a late night infomercial and have stuck with me ever since. And I've had periods of my life where I was physically ill up to the point of having a sudden cardiac arrest and being in a coma. So I know that when something like that happens, when our physical body is exhausted or maxed out, our brain's not functioning on all, I say 12 cylinders, like 12-cylinder engines. I don't know if they even make those anymore. But we're going to look at today our physical health and well-being as it relates specifically to confidence. We need to know what impact our energy, our strength, our physical ability to do things, our stamina has to do with confidence and with our mindset about confidence. One thing about our mind is it runs everything. Our thoughts and our feelings and our beliefs actually run everything. If we believe we're not an exerciser and physical movement and exercise doesn't positively impact us, guess what? It's not gonna. Something's gonna happen. You're gonna try to work out and you're probably gonna get an injury because you believe that you're not the kind of person that exercises or moves their body. One of my biggest stress relievers in corporate America was if something dramatic was going on or something ridiculous that I didn't have to listen to and participate in that instant, my fastest, easiest way to change that was to walk around the facility, not outside usually. I live in the Midwest, so it's usually cold a lot of the year or raining. And so I would walk around the actual physical facility, and that would get my mind back on track and off of what was going, so that when I came back to deal with the situation, I always dealt with it in a much more effective way and a much calmer way than if I just immediately responded. Physical challenges prove to us that we can do hard things. I don't know about you, and I think that's why so many leaders and so many high performance people actually run marathons and do things like that. Now I have an internal cardiac device, and even before that, I only ran for a couple of years. I wasn't a big runner, maybe because I'm so short and I have little short legs, so it feels like it's twice as far to get anywhere. But and I never saw myself really as a runner. I used to be a runner a couple of years, but then I was like, yeah, this is not the way I want to start my day. I decided that wasn't going to be part of my morning routine. Strength training, that scientifically have proven that it changes our neurochemistry. It releases different hormones and confidence hormones into our body. And I think that's another reason high performance people tend to be people that move their bodies, exercise. They do some form of physical activity in addition to working, right? Even if they don't have a family or other relationships, they're going to make sure. And this is how I was when I first got out of college. My first job, I worked and I went to the health club. And then I did some other things on the weekends. But for the most part, worked, went to the gym, home, dinner, bed, repeat. Because I knew that if I was going to have the energy and the stamina I needed for the job that I had taken on, which was emotionally challenging on many days and many levels, I would have to take care of myself physically, sleep, nutritious food, physical movement and activity. And I've learned the older I get, I have arthritis, and I've had arthritis since my 20s, that the only way to combat the pain of that is to move. It seems counterintuitive, but if you start moving, it hurts a little bit more for a while, and then you get that breaking point. And so many people don't ever do the little bit of pain for a while to reach the success and the breaking point. It's like starting and running a business. So many people will do the hardest part starting, and then as soon as they have had X number of challenges, because everybody's got their own set point on that. Oh, I will try this 100 times until I get it to work. Or I will try this until I get it to work. I will try this 100 times, or I will try this 2 times. Or God forbid, some people have it, I'm only going to try this once, and if it doesn't work out the first time, I'm not going to do it. That, to me, is the number one reason businesses fail. The other thing is setting and achieving physical goals actually creates transferable confidence in other areas and aspects of our life. After my sudden cardiac arrest, I set a goal to exercise every day for 1 year. I told my family, I told my friends, and guess what happened? Every single person that knows me well laughed in my face. Why? Because I'd been running through my life, raising my family, and not actually taking time for myself and exercise for probably a decade at that point. And so they were all right to laugh at me, but that just gave me more fuel and more energy to actually do that thing. Turns out I did that for 8 years in a row and didn't miss a beat. Even if it was 11 o'clock at night, if I hadn't exercised yet, I would jump on my exercise bike, and from 11 to 12, I would bike. And then I had a physical challenge that literally I could not walk for like 3 weeks in 2017. And so for 3 weeks, I would do muscle stuff in bed, but I could not get out of my bed, hardly to go to the bathroom, much less exercise every day. But then I picked it up after that too. And now I actually let myself off the hook and don't exercise every day. So maybe that's my reflective question for today. What could I do that would make me feel unstoppable? Is there something? What is the one thing? What goal? Do you have physical goals? Do you have a gym membership? Do you work out? Do you exercise? If you do, awesome. Just push yourself a little harder today. If you don't, I encourage you to schedule it on. And I mean, schedule it into your schedule. If I don't schedule things into my schedule these days, they don't get done. So find the time and the activity that feels great to you and use it as a way to energize and give you more mental energy and focus so that you can feel more confident, because it is a tool just like all the other tools in our toolbox. It's why we have little things that we do physically before we get on stage and talk. I learned that from Tony Robbins too. I learned a lot from Tony Robbins. I've been following him since he was Anthony Robbins. That's how old I am. So what are we going to do today? I want you to put it in your schedule at least 3 times this next week. Set up time. You can make it how many? If you're not an exerciser, heck, just go outside and walk around for 5 minutes. Just move or do something. Strike some yoga poses. Do something that physically changes your body, and then see how it makes you feel afterward. It always energizes me. I always think it's going to make me tired. I used to go for a walk at lunchtime every day when I was running the Italian food manufacturing business. I would just get out, get in the sunshine or the snow or whatever the weather was, and just take a walk down to what was called the dike. It's still called the dike. The end of the dike, which is an old, was the original river crossing on the St. Croix River for Hudson to the Minnesota border. And so now we have new bridges. All right. So any questions about this? Please ask me. I'd love to hear your stories of how moving your body and increasing your physical activity increase your confidence. Those would be wonderful to share with one another. Go out, make it an awesome day. If I can help you in any way, just ask. If you would like access to the entire annual challenge and worksheets, and I've created a dashboard for daily tracking and to journal and do things like that. I hate to do this because it's killing my reach, but put school, and you can spell school any way you want. I'd say spell it C-S-C, the regular way instead of school platform. And I will send you an invitation and you can join us there. And that's where I'm storing and doing this year's annual challenge. First time ever, really exciting. All right, have a great day, and I'll of course be with you tomorrow. Bye. Slow connections at the end.